Some people. Back again. I've noticed like I didn't change the title on my stream, so I'm gonna do that quickly. Let's see. Update titles. Let's change that. We'll change that to unprofessional of me. You should know it's not, the title's not AI, you know? Okay. So yeah, I wanted to start with the whole pump fund thing. So it turns out that no one's getting an airdrop. No one's getting the airdrop, and we're gonna have to just eat that and be happy about it, you know? So if you don't know, like obviously I'm streaming on PubFund right now, but yeah. And I'm sure like, you know, this has been done to death, but a lot of other things have happened today. Or like this week. So if you haven't been paying attention, stay tuned and you know, I'll go for it the best I can so you know what's going on. But what's the initial, right, so the first thing I want to go over is the whole PubFund thing. And you know, there was an interesting conversation on Uncensored podcast, you know, the Laura Shin thing, and the guy from Abstract basically was trying to justify why, or trying to say why PubFund should actually be doing the airdrop. And it's just basically you could make way more money if you just done the airdrop. If you just airdropped people like, you know, a massive amount of money and just rejuvenated the trenches, rejuvenated retail, and said, look guys, come back, have a bit of fun, more than likely that money would have just basically gone straight back into the trenches, and everyone would have been trading meme coins, creating meme coins, and whatever. Even though we all know now that meme coins are not coming back, they're a scam. More than likely it would have been an extraction event, because retail, well, most retail are gone. The ones that are still here are fully aware of like the bundlers and scams, and the fact that, you know, meme coins can't pump to save their lives. Meme coins couldn't pump to, like, you know, save your mum. Like they're just not, it's not coming back, in it. There's too many scammers out there. Everyone's figured out how to basically rug pull and bundle, and yeah. And the main onboarding event of last cycle was meme coins, and the people that are new to crypto, basically that's their impression of what crypto is meme coins pumping and dumping. Yeah, you might get a few gains here and there, but yeah, it's over, man. And even PubFund themselves know that meme coins are over. You know, you've got Elon, the head honcho, whatever, basically saying, oh yeah, you know what, we need to find product market fit. Now, last cycle, meme coins were product market fit, and he's clearly stated now, and even by his actions, by burning 36% of the supply, that yeah, meme coins aren't it, bruv. You know what I mean? It's interesting though, because, you know, as soon as this was announced, like a lot of people were like, fuck you, where's my meme, where's my airdrop, you promised an airdrop, blah 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 blah. There's gonna be like I can't even think of the words. It takes me a while to warm up, guys. There's gonna be like a I can't get the word out. More tokens issued. There you go. There's gonna be issuance of the token in the coming months. So there's going to be more PubFund tokens being issued out in the near term, like in maybe June. I think June 12th there's going to be like another $360 million worth of this token being issued out to investors and for incentive programs and blah 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 blah. Yeah, so, you know, then they try to pivot. PubFund are like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do like charity coins. So what that means is that like charities can register and people could trade the charity coins, and the fees would go to the charities, which seems like honorable, but at the same time, who are like PubFund trying to get in the good graces of? I don't know. Are they trying to get in good graces of like, you know, governments to say like, look, we're not scammers. We're trying to do a good thing. We're trying to like, you know, build a real business here. Or are they, yeah, or are they trying to mask something more nefarious like money laundering or something along those lines? Because we know that charities don't get taxed, okay? Or charity funds don't get taxed. It goes to good causes when it's supposed to, and it's supposed to help out the less fortunate. You know, people who are ill, like, you know, got cancer, kids who are homeless or anything along those lines. Yeah, it seems like a good thing, but based on Pump Fund's history, people just assume that everything they're doing is nefarious. Fine, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's that. So yeah, Pump Fund's cooked. I don't think it's weird because like, you know, people are still on there trading, even though they you know, the assumption is that yeah, the airdrop is not going to happen, even though they promised it, even though it says it in the docs, even though they tried to build hype about it, even though they've raised, you know, multiple hundreds of millions. They're still not willing to give back to people who actually use their platform, who made them who they are. My opinion on it is what it is. Like, I never traded meme coins. Like, I did try to farm via, you know, streaming on the platform, but it turns out that, you know, even that, the 3% allocation from the next you know, issuance of the token is not going to happen by the looks of it. It could be like years down the line. It could be like another situation like MetaMask or OpenSea, where they promise an airdrop to encourage users to come and use their platform, and then in the end they just drag it out. I mean, OpenSea had the cheek to just like turn around and just be like, look, we're not doing it, it's not the right time to do it. You know, oh, try and use our mobile phone platform, you know, like we're releasing an app for mobiles. And like Elon has basically said the same thing. It's like, we want to go more mobile, and we feel like that would be easier. Maybe it's harder to scam via mobile, I don't know. Or maybe they want data collection, like you're gonna have to authorize or sign off when you install the app, that, you know, they can have access to all your data and your photos and like your contacts and all the rest of it. So yeah, there's like definitely data harvesting going on as well, or that's their intention. That's my assumption, and that's their intention. So like, yeah, there's that too. So yeah, Pump Fund, we'll see where it goes. But like I said, and I've quoted it before, and I've tweeted it or X posted it, I believe that they, at some point, Pump Fund will release its own chain. And the token may be airdropped to people that way to incentivize people to use the chain. You know, there'll be a staking mechanism where you can earn the yield and the token that depreciates over time. So it would be pointless to stake. So yeah, there's that. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The next thing I wanted to talk about was this whole Unipig thing. This is what I really wanted to talk about. I feel like, you know, the Pump Fund thing was like a soft entry into what I actually wanted to speak about. Uniswap or Unipeg. The new sort of like derivative token, no one knows what to call it type of thing. I've been looking at it, and every new news article that comes out, I'm just like, is this thing legit? Is it real? What is it, you know? And I've been trying to figure it out, because at the end of the day, someone built this thing, so there must be like a paper trail or like a code trail or something that you can follow along to see what exactly this thing is, how it works, and why why everyone's started to talk about it, why people who matter are talking about it. I've noticed, because I've stuck around, yeah, and I'm watching every day, it's bear market, you know, vibes or whatever. I've noticed that there are a lot of participants who perhaps I spoke to towards the tail end of the last cycle, you know, going into from October through to December, January. There were people here that were left over from the previous bull, and they were sort of lingering around, you know, trying to figure out, thinking that they could still make some money, or like, you know, make some money, yeah, in that cycle. And then they've come to the realization that, yeah, it's cooked. You know, the narrative is dead. What they thought they knew was going to be the future, is no longer the case, isn't it? AI's come along and it's given everyone, like, you know, sort of a kick up the arse to figure it out. Yeah, those people are gone. Those last few dregs of people, that retail participant who saw the money being made, maybe made a little bit of money, and they realized that they missed out on an opportunity. Those people have left. They've gone back to work, or they're doing what they were doing before. They're going even harder. Perhaps, like, you know, they're earning a wage and they're buying the tokens that they feel, or maybe they just thought, fuck this is all a scam. I give up. Those people, I'm telling you, like, those faces, I don't know where they are, you know. They're still, like, you know, I've still got them following me, or like, you know, I still see them on the timeline here and there. They might shill a meme coin every now and again. Some have just completely gone off the map. So yeah, it's just one of those situations where I think we've bottomed. Like, you know, I feel like this is the bottom. You might get another 50% down candle on a one-off, you know, like a forced seller might have to sell, and you'll see the prices just completely collapse in it. But the reason why I bring this up and the reason why I'm talking about it is because, like, this Unipig thing is something completely new and interesting. But the people the retail participants that I'm talking about are not on the timeline being like, what is this thing, trying to figure it out, you know, liking the posts or getting involved. So that tells me, yeah, retail's gone, isn't it? I am retail, but I'm one of those sick retailers that just love punishment. Yeah, look, like, you know, looking at prices, like, yeah, it's just sideways and chop. So like, even like the leverage traders, they're not posting anything either. You don't see any TA on the charts, in it. You might see like a few, like, I don't want to call them KOLs because I'm not really sure what those people are doing. Like, you know, like you've got this cute guy who I follow. He's got his newsletter and he's farming, you know, viewership, I guess you could call it, via his newsletter, and he is calling good coins, you know, like he seems to have the source at the moment. But yeah, even him, like, you know, what was I gonna say? Yeah, even him, like, you know, farming whatever retail is left. Even he's pointing out this Unipig thing and the opportunities that are abound but like, you know, based on these new coins. Joey BTC, follow me, that's great. Upig and Asteroid. So Asteroid was another one that was a meme coin, but that had a good run. But I think Asteroid is over. Where is Asteroids? Yeah, I mean, it's at 152. It's just sort of like sideways consolidating. It needs another catalyst. It needs another Elon Musk tweet. But back to Unipig. What is it? So I think the main thing about it is that people are assuming that it is an NFT. Okay, now, how do I put it? It is an NFT, but it's not. It's a fractionalized NFT with a token attached to it. Now, the only way that you can have the NFT is if you own a whole Unipig. So you'd have to pay $1,413 at the moment to actually receive the NFT on chain. So it's like inscribed on chain, and your address is registered to have this NFT via the token that you hold. So you hold one token. But you can also buy fragments of the token. Now, if someone buys a fragment of one token, that means that there's less NFTs to mint. Does that make sense? So there's like 10,000 NFTs, right? It gets more complicated. Well, not more complicated, but more interesting than that. There's 10,000 NFTs, right? Each NFT is attached to a token. If you were to buy that token, you get the NFT. But if you buy a fraction of it, then that NFT basically cannot be minted, which reduces the supply of the token. There's only 10,000 tokens. So if, like, the more that the tokens get fractionalized, the less of the 10,000 NFTs are available. Does that make sense? So, like, the reason why the price could fly and go crazy is because people want to mint these NFTs. You know, it's sort of like a lore thing. It's sort of like, as in LORE. It's sort of like, you know, I have this NFT. It's more rare than BTC. There's not going to be any more of them. And you know, that makes it interesting in terms of price discovery. Like, this thing could run to, like, you know, 100 million, and there still would only be like 8,900 NFTs available, which makes the NFTs even more valuable. So, like, you know, you could base the price on the token, or you could base the price on the NFT. But what makes it even more interesting is that, say you own an NFT, right? You've got one Unipeg, you sell it, it goes off. What happens is that because the way the NFT is built, it's built in like segments, different parts. Okay, this is what's like blowing my mind. It's built in different parts. So you buy back that token, a whole token again, you're going to get different segments of that NFT put together to make a totally different NFT. Does that make sense? So, like, no NFT will ever be the same because there are different pieces that match together to make that Unipig NFT, right? So here is the website. So they just released the website, Peg to Peg, right? So what I'm saying to you, let's take this one for example. There are like different segments to this NFT, okay? You've got the white bit here. You've got, let me just make sure I'm all connecting everything. Yeah, speed's good, right? You've got the white bit here, which is like the main, I'm assuming, the tail, the body. Maybe that's like a collar. You got the beard, you got the horn, right? Now, each one of these parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6, maybe 7 or 8. 7 or 8 different parts, yeah? Now, each of those gets split and they're gone once you sell it, okay? Then you buy back again, right? Now, any one of these parts can be put onto a different part. Plus, you've got the different colors as well. So, it basically combines all these different parts into a different type of NFT. And there are different variations in like the tail, for instance, or like, you know, you could get a bald one where there's nothing. So that means that there's possibly like millions of different combinations of the NFT that you could get, which makes the resale and rebuy more interesting. You know, like, because you might want to like, you might not like the look of the one that you have, so you sell it and then you buy a new one and then it puts it together and you'd be like, is that a mythic? You know, so there's a rarity thing coming into it as well. So like, there's different aspects of this Unipig thing that people aren't considering. They're just assuming that you buy the token, you get an NFT. No, it splits the NFT apart and then it puts it, and then you get like a totally different one with different variations. Like, you know, look at this one, like, you know, the color schemes, everything. So there's like different color schemes. There's different, the parts are pretty much the same. There might be different types of mains. Like, you know, you can see here, like there's one type of a main and there's a different type of main. And then there's a different type of unicorn horn. One might not have a unicorn horn. And then you've got like the tail. Like, so you can put this one together with this one, together with that, together with the different colored body. And it will always change. So there's never going to be a time where you're going to get like duplicates or things that looks even similar, like in terms of the NFT presentation. And that's what makes Unipig interesting, because like the variations in color schemes and the variations in the build make the combinations I don't want to say infinite, okay, but like pretty much infinite. You could have, no one's ever going to have the same one, and if you want to change it, fine, sell and buy, and you'll get a different one. So yeah, it's amazing, and it's all done on chain as well. Mainnet, ETH mainnet, it's all done on chain. So the V4 hook idea of it is very interesting. You're gonna see, because like obviously the price is up now. At the moment it's 1,430 or whatever. 14 million FDV. There's no way to rug it. Like, you know, you look at the contract and everything's been revoked. The LP is the LP. Everything is like, you're not gonna get rug pulled on this basically. So that's the difference between like this type of coin and that type of coin, like a meme coin. Now you're going to see people say, oh yeah, we could do the same thing, you know, like we're going to drop our collection, you know, and maybe they do have the split apart bit and all of that together. Probably not. What they're doing is like, they're saying, yeah, buy our token and you'll get an NFT, but NFTs are tokens. I don't know how to make sense of it. So for instance, like you've got Punk, P-Punk, Pegged Punk, okay? So it's going sideways, and everyone's like, well, you know, the FDV is 246k. Why isn't it popping off like Unipig, right? So you go to the website. I think this is basically just gonna take back to, yeah. So, you know, and there's gonna be like different variations of these tokens. Like, I don't know if the same thing happens in terms of, because I haven't looked at the contract. I don't know if the same thing's gonna happen in terms of, if I was to buy this and then sell it, does it actually unbundle the NFT and then put it back together differently? Because like a lot of these are looking very familiar, or like layered on top and lazily put together. So like what you're going to want to do in terms of this new asset class is you're going to want to look for new NFT collections. Like, so Unipeg is a new NFT collection. You've never seen it before. The variations are there, but like there are people out there that are taking old NFT collections and they're basically splitting them apart and then trying to bundle it into this new contract. This one here, the P-Pegs, we'll call it P-Pegs, the Punk Pegs, it was done very quickly. It was basically like Unipeg happened, and it was all like, oh, you know, there's a little buzz around it. The Chinese community, apparently, I don't read Chinese, I don't speak to any Chinese people, but the Chinese community of crypto are very excited about this thing. Not this one, but the Unipeg. But as soon as this Unipeg came out and it started to get a bit of traction, you saw P-Peg come out, and then you see C-Peg, like Cat Peg, and all these other ones are coming out. I don't know if they're lazily or sloppily put together, or if they use the same sort of implementation, or if they're just NFTs attached to tokens, and they're not like, you know, derivatives based where, you know, if I buy a section of it, then you can't mint anymore, you know? So we're saying like there's 8,733 items out there, but yeah, it could be like, you know, this could be a new asset class that people get excited about. But like I said before, you don't want to buy derivatives of original NFTs. I feel like that's not the play. I feel like the play is like when you see a new type of token come out or a new type of derivative, check the contract, see if everything is in place, and yeah, go for it. I have been experimenting, obviously, you know, I've seen it and I'm trying to figure out how do people fucking do this? Like, you know, what is it? And then even like scanning from the time I found out, the contract wasn't live. It was only recently that the guy who actually built it, what's his name? Hayden, I think it's this guy. So like, you know, let's go back. So look at this documentation, you know, like it's not flashy, it's not like and this is the type of alpha that you want. You want to be able to find something that looks like this, where like it's very unassuming. There you go. Like you would see this website and you would just assume like, oh, it looks cheap, it looks crap. It looks like what Binance used to look like when it first came out. I remember people were talking about Binance, and when I first checked the site, I was like, this looks like shit, I would never touch it, you know. But Binance became one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, centralized exchange ever. And regrets, obviously, it's always me with the regrets, but for the first time I feel like it's not even the first time, for the first time in a while, I feel like, yeah, I've stumbled upon something early, and I want to get involved and I want to figure out how it all works, and whether or not like not like copy it, but like be involved, you know, like actually maybe build an NFT collection of my own that follows along the same lines, but also implement on it, like, you know, add something different to it. This is not me shilling anything, okay? There might be something coming out along the lines, you know, if I can get sort of like backing from the Uniswap Foundation to actually like drop a collection. From my understanding, if you could derive a collection that's individualistic, I think that's a word, individual or separate from what Unipeg has done, but it's also adds on top of it, or, you know, a bit of innovation, not just like lazily, like, you know, take an old NFT collection and split it apart and then just say, yeah, this is the, you know, you can get various, because that's not what the original NFT collections were. Like, you know, you bought something and no one else could have it, yeah, but there'll be like a slight tweak. There might be an extra pixel, there might be a pixel missing, whatever. Like, I don't know how. That's another thing I need to do, basically, is like figure out what people find attractive as art, like, you know, why people buy these tokens or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so this is the post that this person, oxhadrian.eth, and he's basically just going through why, when system matures, progress stops being about adding features and starts being about lowering the cost of trying new ideas. Exactly. So like, even in terms of like issuing this type of asset, it's going to cost you around, I mean, and it's on mainnet, around $2,000. Okay, but that doesn't include the LP. So, you know, you're going to need a bit of money for the LP as well. You're also going to need to basically implement the V4 hook yourself. With the power of AI, it's a lot simpler for people, potential NFT issuers, to build something. It's exciting. But yeah, and it's doable. But my advice to anyone who's thinking about doing it is you need to create your own sort of IP art, and, you know, build it from scratch. Don't be like trying to take out, like, you know, the Bored Apes and splitting apart and then putting on chain. There's also been some really low rent, really cheap looking people, like NFT collections coming out, and they're like, yeah, we're CPEG, you know, like cat peg, or we've got HPEG, human peg, blah blah blah. No, it's not gonna work, innit? It's not gonna work. You gotta really find something like an art style, a sort of NFT collection that you build has to look good, not generic, something new, and then maybe add a little like twist on top, if you want to gain any sort of traction. And also, you need to apply to the Uniswap Foundation to see if you can get a grant and like some backing. So that's the plan for me anyway. Like, I've sort of got, like, I've got the art, I've got everything put together. The contract, I'm probably going to write today, or, you know, Claude's going to write it. It's going to be AI slop. And then I'm going to submit it for review. And if it works out, and, you know, then we've got a new collection, a new peg, that people can get excited about, and everyone has an even chance of, going forward with. It's going to take a bit of time. According to Claude, it can take 3 to 6 months, but you know, Claude, it'll take 20 minutes. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm very excited about this new type of asset class. But like I said, you know, assets like this, like PPEG, PunkPeg, just don't go near it. Just don't. Just don't. It came out too fast. It's a derivative of an old coin, or an old NFT, and it's just not exciting. Do you know what I mean? But like, you know, this Unipeg, these look cool. They're new. And like I said, you know, the interesting, it's not even a gambling aspect, but the RNG aspect, the random number generator, the loot aspect of it is what is exciting. Like, you don't know what you're going to get when you buy a coin, you know. It's not like, you know, you're participating in like your, you know, like before, it's not like ICOs. What did they used to do with NFTs? It was like they had a pre-mint, so you'd have to go through a whitelist, and then, you know, you get like a pack, and in that pack you might get, you never did, but you might get like a cool NFT that, you know, is rare or something like that. Whereas with something like Unipeg or UPEG, every asset is individual. You might like it, you might not, but at the same time, it's still exciting to see all the multiple possible combinations of NFT that you could get. And plus, you've also got the added benefit of the fact that the token, when fractionalized, becomes more valuable. Now, does that make sense to you? So, say there is a collector out there. He's got 99 Unipegs. He wants to get to 100, but it's so fractionalized that he has to pay an increased cost to get that fraction. Does that make sense? So, like, if you owe 0.3 Unipeg, yeah, Unipeg token, someone's gonna want that because there's only 10,000 tokens. So they'll keep bidding it up in order to get to that one. Yeah, you're gonna, like, that person's gonna buy one, but because they can't buy a whole one, but because it's harder to get a whole one, it means it's more valuable, which thus increases your dust, or yeah, your fraction of a token. So yeah, very exciting. Like, and I don't think people are like looking that deeply into it just yet. I saw that like Ansem, the world famous Ansem, started his own podcast, and he's still talking about, like, you know, he's still reminiscing or ruminating, or like, you know, talking about what happened last cycle, you know. And I think a lot of like the old participants, the ones who have been successful, they're always going to reflect on last cycle and how successful they are, and they probably believe that they'll never be that successful again. So they just live off the law, you know. Like, Ansem's word is Ansem's word, but he's already said, you know, and we don't know if it's true, that he sold all his Solana, he sold all his Bitcoin. I didn't watch the podcast. I saw it was on. I was just like, I don't know. I've never really listened to the guy anyway, but like, you know, it's just not for me. Yeah, it's just, how do I put it? There are things happening. And no one's paying attention, and that's when you should be paying attention. This is what the point where you should be like allocating capital to new asset classes, potential new asset classes. I've been wrong. You know, this is not something where it's like guaranteed. Like, you know, I thought content coins were going to be the next move, but they were just like bear market vibes. I think, you know, a lot of the companies that were successful, like Pump Fund, Base, for instance, as well, they knew a bear market was coming, but they needed a vibe, so they just created one, which was content coins. Okay, let's try and do streaming and see what happens. It will keep people entertained. They've got something to do. It gives them data that they can analyze. You know, there were certain benefits to it. Maybe it might have worked. The chances of it working, you know, of like, you know, Zora or Pump Fund streaming usurping the bigger proponents like TikTok, Instagram. I don't know if you can stream it, but Instagram, like, you know, YouTube. The chances of the new asset classes of Pump Fund and Zora usurping those big entities was basically 0.5%. Okay. But you still try in it, and in the process of trying, you still learn something. So like, yeah, I've learned how to stream. Like, you know, I know how to multi-stream now. I know how to set up audio, and I know how to like put these what I think are cool graphics behind me. You know, let me set up a little bit. So like, yeah, there's definitely like a load of opportunities or a lot of learning being done during the bear, and that was the whole point. Now, the new asset class is here, in my humble opinion. And like I said, I've been wrong before. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and just be like, oh, meme coins or like, you know, or content coins, or like look back? Or are you going to look deeply at this thing as it's happening in real time and see where you can find a spot? You know, like, not like rug pull or do anything dodgy, but like try and like build a legitimate, like, you know, NFT collection or, you know, coin. I don't know what to call it. Like, I don't know what to call this thing yet. Peg. Are you going to try and build a new peg? The information is literally like 2 days old. So, you know, if you're like me and you've been in this space for a while, I feel like this is the opportunity where you could get in a low cost entry or low barrier to entry in terms of development, because now you have AI where it can read a smart contract and issue it and test it on Foundry, and like, you know, you can implement your own ideas, and it could potentially be like, you know, your way out of like, you know, having to look at fucking charts all day, like, you know, or like, you know, worrying about getting rug pulled on the meme coin. Like, it's a new avenue potentially that we could go down. Web4 hooks have a lot of potential, in my humble opinion. I don't know how to write a hook, and but I'm deep in it now, and yeah, I feel like, yeah, this is the next step. This is the next thing that potentially could get things going, because there's nothing to say that. Okay, there's nothing to say that could be the only implementation. It's just an example of what V4 hooks could be. You know, you've got yeah, the fractionalization of NFTs plus the coin, all pegged together. But what else could you do? You know, like, how does DeFi play a part in this? I know DeFi is getting a bad run right now. You know, like, people getting hacked, and like a lot of the old DeFi cohorts and smart contracts. Yeah, people are looking at these contracts and they're like, well, we have the ability to hack these. Do you realize that? It might even be like a thing of like, it could be a new game. You know, like, hack the smart contract. Yeah, if you get the money out, then fine. You know, it's yours. And it seems like that seems to be what's happening at the moment. I don't know, like, you know, if law, the you know, the government and the law are going to get involved with the people that are actually hacking these smart contracts. I don't even know if it's relevant to them. It could be, you know, North Korea that's like hacking these people because they're very good at it. It seems. It could be anyone. It could be insiders. I've got this theory, right? I'm going to move on. I've got this theory that a lot of the hacks that are happening in DeFi are actually from insiders. You know, I do believe that. I do believe that, you know, they do have the ability to let me see, replies. I said it yesterday. Yeah, DeFi gets hacked every single day and nobody even cares anymore. And I said that's simply because it's not retail money. It's not. Retail's gone. Like, retail aren't fucking with DeFi. They never did. Okay, retail were trading meme coins, you know, and they took their profits, if they did get any profits, and they left. Okay, or they lost it all, still trading, and they're still there trading meme coins now, thinking it's coming back. It's all VC and dev funds. It's true. Like, you know, some devs, bless them, are backing themselves and putting their own funds into these DeFi protocols to show that they're safe, and then they're losing their money. Or it's VCs, hedge funds, like, you know, who invested in these new DeFi primitives. You saw it like towards the end of last cycle. Too much money chasing too few ideas, and people were basically, you know, getting funded for like just shit ideas. And the VCs are like, I want my money back, and they're like, well, we can't get it out because it's locked in this contract. We'll hack it and give me my money back. You know, like, that could be the situation as well. You know, I don't care about the return, just give me my funds. Like, you obviously don't know what you're doing. In program, retail died a year ago, which is true. Wouldn't surprise me if this all comes out as massive fraud. As massive fraud and money laundering from insiders. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's see. That's just me laughing. Yeah, this is saying meme coins are dead and last cycle vibes, and they're looking for the next shiny new thing. Pack out abundance. It's true. I want to be honest where we're at. I don't want to read through the whole thing. He wrote this whole like spiel, like, and it's crazy. Bear case, we lose product market fit while trying over the course of many years. We don't fulfill our vision. Bull case, we hit PMF again. So he's saying that, you know, meme coins are not product market fit. The guy who made and invented Pump Fund is saying meme coins are dead and people are still there trading meme coins. It's actually insane to me that this is still happening. Or you think that you're going to be profitable swapping out, like, you know, shitcoin or scam coin for something else. Like, the bundlers have it. They ruined it. And it's always the case. Every new cycle or every new narrative, right? The shiny new thing comes out. Early participants make a shitload of money. Most of those are people who are close to the project, the devs, or like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to say like me because I've never been early to anything, but like, you know, they're close to the project or the devs, and you know, they get their allocation very early, pretty much when it happens, and you know, they cash out, and then, you know, they go on the timeline and they brag about how much money they've got. Okay, so the closer you are in proximity to the opportunity, the easier it is for you to take advantage of the opportunity. Now, there are people sitting in places like me in a corner somewhere who are not close to anything. Okay, so they're hearing second, third, fourth hand information after the fact when the money's being made. But because they've seen the money be made, they think that the opportunity is still there. So then they come in. And that's when the early opportunists, the ones who are closest to the opportunity, cash out. Okay, that's the game. I've learned that over the course of being in this multiple cycles. Okay. Why am I still here? I have no idea. Like, I'm asking myself that question. Like, what is it? Like, you know, with the power of the internet, like, you see things early. Like, you know, the Unipeg thing, I feel like this is extremely early for it. It's very experimental. People are saying, you know, the names of last cycle aren't even recognizing it. Only Kook. This guy Kook, he's recognized it and he's sort of like in. And he's been all in from like earlier than me. I'd say, I think it was March the Unipeg thing came out. Where is it? April. You know, it's a month old. Less than a month old. It's 2 weeks old. He's been in from the very start. And, you know, he bought up his Unipegs at like a very low valuation. And yeah, it's you know, it's here. But as I was saying, yeah, like that's the cycle. That's how the cycle works. You got the early participants, the nerds, the ones sitting in the corner who are really paying attention this time, because I am. I missed NFTs because I was holding on to Omise Go token, okay? I was like, I'm not selling this Omise Go until I break even. In the meantime, CryptoPunks were getting issued out for $600. I missed it, okay? I missed Bored Apes. I didn't understand NFTs. I didn't read into it. I didn't look at the docs. I didn't do nothing, okay? Then DeFi Summer happened. I had no idea about I think DeFi happened before. I don't know. But like DeFi Summer happened. I knew nothing about DeFi Summer. Why? Because I was holding ETH saying, oh, ETH's going to 5x and blah, blah. I'm working, you know, I'm doing my life and blah, blah. I'm missing it, yeah? But yeah, those people who are early are always the ones who are like, you know, they're in the business. They're in the business. I've got to stop clapping next to the mic, innit? Sorry, guys. But like, yeah, you need to understand that. I think people, the lessons I've learned so far are important. They are important. And you only learn those over the course of time. Pump Fund was tired of using 100% of its revenue to buy back. Yeah. So yeah, they basically, going back to why meme coins are dead. Pump Fund is saying to you, and Elon, the guy who invented Pump Fund, is saying to you, meme coins are dead. We need product market fit. We can't find it. Okay. Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, just in time for unlocks, almost like they knew what they were doing. So unlocks are gonna happen. Pudgy Penguins, Meta Morning. You know what? MetaMask. I'm tired of you guys. Just fuck off, innit? Like, I don't know. Your product sucks. You're integrating all these other things into your wallet. No one cares, bro. Like, oh yeah, you could trade Polymarket. You know, you could trade leverage on there. You could do all these things. You're giving all these facilities to that. You know, people already have access to these things. What have you done? Like, what have you built? What's unique about what you're selling? Nothing. You know, just like, you know, the airdrop thing. You've done it to death. Like, I don't know, because you're lucky you got Joe Lubin and Consensus backing you. Like, you know, you're lucky you're part of that cohort, because that's the only way you're making money or like getting funding. Seriously. I've been streaming. Yeah, so like we will announce an order of magnitude monetization multiply for live stream soon. So like that's what's interesting to me as well. So like, you know, you saw Ansem all of a sudden come out with his, I don't know if his phase, it might be phase, because it's weird to me because I saw like clips of it, and Ansem is on the left and this FaZe Banks is on the right. And it's normally the other way around where the presenter is on the right. So I'm like, I'm not sure whose stream it is. I'm not sure whose stream is it. Is it Ansem stream or is it FaZe's? Whoever it is, it's funny that, you know, I'm starting a podcast on X now because they're saying that they're going to monetize. They're going to start monetizing streams. I get 0 viewers on X, but I'll continue to stream there regardless, because that's where, yeah, I can hold myself accountable by what I'm saying. You know, like, and other people can as well. I'm fully doxed now. Like, you know, you can see the face. It is what it is, isn't it? You know? I was like, why are you trying to be a non? No one knows who you are. It doesn't matter, innit? You know? But yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. UPEG and Asteroid, great examples. Just repeating the same thing. All I did was cut my hair and wear some glasses. Yo, act like I moved into another person. Breaking, the co-founder of fashion chain Superdry, James Holden, has been found guilty of raping a woman after a night out. Oh, pissed. Oh well. Stay away from women, man. Like, I'm not like stay away from women, but find a wife, innit? Like, you know, just like, I don't know, man. Money corrupts people, so like, it's just bad. Okay. Everything empty. Some of the original ideas to execute. I can't imagine doing anything not crypto gives you freedom and dollars to pursue random ideas. Embrace it. I'm just not. I don't rate virtuals at all. I've still got funds locked in there, and I'm pissed about it. Don't rate them at all. So it is what it is. Yeah. What else? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I was to talk about. But I stand by the Unipeg thing. I do stand by the Unipeg thing, and no one's gonna see it. No one's gonna say anything. But at the same time, is what it is. There's me drinking a beer. I was actually on Hit.1. Oh, that's another thing. Mega ETH. Mega ETH's had its mainnet. The token came out, and obviously, it's down only. I'm very interested in Mega ETH. Okay, I'm not gonna shit on Mega ETH. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Mega ETH. It's just come out. Apparently, the token issuance is like infinite. So it looks like it's going the route of Starknet, innit? Where it's just going to be like constant dumping from people on the inside. I'll pick some up at 5 cents. If it drops to 5 cents, I might get some. It would be nice to have a bag that you could stake and just be a part of the ecosystem. They're doing an incentive program, and I just don't feel like the value of that incentive program justifies you farming it or us farming it. Although, in saying that, retail, like I said before, is dead. So there's very few retail participants out there right now farming. They just believe that everything's not going to work, innit? I farmed pre the release of the SOS, I think it's called, or MOS. So let me see if I can bring that out. Mega ETH. So I was using their meth. Oh my god, don't type that in. Mega ETH. Yeah, Mega ETH. Let's see, what time is it? Wife's probably called me. Yeah, the wife's called me. Mega ETH now trading. They got the cool graphics. Apparently Athena is involved, so USDE has been listed on blah, blah, blah. They've got a shitload of MUSD, so just be careful with that. I'm trying to find it, sorry guys. Yeah, the terminal, here we go. So they've got a terminal now. We'll load up some water. And you got a multiplier and a ranking and whatnot. So you use the apps, and I guess you get points. And you hit the button, highly leveraged. Blah. Yeah, and they've got all these apps that I've already used. Discover. It's weird though, because is Showdown on here? Because Showdown is one that you think would be next to, what is this? Unbox, vault, and ship graded cards. Experience the feel of opening boxes, every box. Yeah, so they've got a few apps going now. The token's out. Point update in 3 days. So yeah, I might have to get involved and just muck around on here and see whatever's on here. But it's kind of not lame, but it's kind of annoying the fact that I see my stream looks a bit dodgy on. It's kind of annoying that the things that I was doing before, because I was using the apps without any incentive. I knew there was an incentive program coming. Okay. I did know that, but I just thought if I'm early, you might get a little bonus. But yeah, it's just not that. What's this bell up here? Welcome to terminal. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so check out Mega ETH's terminal. If you wanted to farm the airdrop, I believe that you're gonna have to go through this phase of using the applications, mucking around with different apps. Obviously, it matters if you have the amount of money that you're gonna put up. As you can see, I've got 0 points. So probably this weekend I might muck around on there, use Hit One again. But I'm like I said, I'm pretty surprised that Showdown's not on here. GMX, don't know what that is. Is that Prism? Yeah, I've used Prism. Discovered. What is that? What's that? It is a building a decentralized borderless internet. Okay, so borderless internet, decentralized internet. I don't know how believable that is. Showdown, there it is. Yeah. So there, yeah, I got some money on Showdown. Customize your heads, participate in tournaments, win prizes. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I might have to play a bit of Showdown later. I love that game. It's probably the best game on there. Okay, that and Hit One, winners. Kumbaya, which is their decentralized exchange. It's a bit janky. I mean, it's gonna work at some point, innit? But yeah, it's a bit janky. It's a bit annoying, But I think they're getting ripped with transactions at the moment. So yeah, going back to the incentive program, it's very hard to incentivize users to come over and use these applications if the token is down only. You know, I mean, people are buying it now. Like, you know, you can see, like, I don't know if those are the same addresses. They look like that's 3 of the same guy buying the same amount. So, you know, I just don't think it's worth purchasing the token at the moment until, like, you know, the incentive program's done and all the rest of it. But, like, if it goes low enough, like 5 cents is like my ideal entry. I feel like, yeah, it could go from there. But if it goes the path of, like, you know, like the Starknet token where it's just down only and you've got VCs dumping from staked positions, then yeah, you're not really going to want to do it. Like Monad is another one that was supposed to be competitive in terms of, like, you know, speed and whatnot. And I'm not even sure where it's at the moment. It's at 2 cents, you know? It's gross. It's gross. 10 million FTV. Market cap of 13 mil. It's got the potential to grow, but like it didn't have any like unique applications like Mega ETH had or has. So yeah, that's another thing to consider. And there's nothing to farm on Monad either. You know, they done the TGE token generation event, if you don't know, pre their, or like upon the release of their mainnet. And then when mainnet came out, there was like nothing to do. It's like you can stake the token to secure the network button here, you know. But yeah, Unipeg, man, I say that's the move. I say if you can't afford to buy, sorry guys, if you can't afford to buy one, just buy the dust, because the dust is going to be valuable. I really believe, like, even if you own like 0.3 or 0.5, you know, half of a Unipeg, it's going to be valuable. I've just got this feeling that, you know, it's going to be the thing that you're going to want to hold for a little while, you know. Yeah. Anything else I want to talk about? Nah. Base, what, in 11 days? I think Base is coming out with their mainnet, Azul. I think they're going to be fast. I think they're going to be fast to break things, to be honest, Base. I think they're going to drop Azul, and then in summer, they're going to drop their token. And just be like, right, guys, have at it. What would be interesting is if, like, you know, these... Because Uniswap is everywhere, isn't it? It's, you know, the V4 implementation is on Base as well. Now, what I think would be interesting is if, you know, you had the ability to do these, like, fractionalized NFT token, like, you know, hybrids on Base. But at the same time, it wouldn't have the same... I don't know how to put it. Not law, like, you know, it wouldn't have the same relevance. It wouldn't have the same relevance if you dropped that sort of like thing on Base. I think like when you drop this sort of like new sort of thing, I don't know what to call it still. NFT meme, fractionalized meme NFT, peg. We'll call it a peg. I keep saying that. I've got to get used to it because peg, you know, pegging, like, you know, it's just like, yeah, it's a bit weird. Dude, like, they keep doing that, like these devs. They like say nonce as well. It's like, why are you calling it a nonce? Like, but they have no idea because they're Americans what a nonce is. In their terms, it's like, you know, a node or, you know, whatever it is. Yeah, it doesn't have the same relevance as dropping something on ETH mainnet. ETH mainnet is the place where new things happen, and if you want to, like, you know, make money or whatever, it's definitely ETH mainnet. And the fact that, you know, the market is completely dead, everyone's like been written off, hacks are happening, all these bear market bottom barrel price action things are happening. Prices are really cheap to issue smart contracts on ETH mainnet. So like now is the time to end it with your ideas, isn't it? And like I said before, I'm repeating myself, but like, you know, AI will help you along the way. So long as you sort of like have some sort of general understanding of how this all works, in terms of smart contracts, you know, being able to like, don't just like go to Claude, for instance, and just like bang on like, yeah, I want to do this, and then have it do it, because like Claude needs context as well, and the context is there if you know where to look. I'm not going to give you any more help than that. So you got to feed that to Claude, and you got to understand what you're reading, and you got to understand what you want to build. So yeah, definitely time to, like, you know, it's middle season, but it's coming to an end. I'm convinced, you know, by the end of the year, the market's going to be crazy again, or like the VCs and insiders are going to be making shitloads of money, and you're going to see it, and you're going to be like, what the hell happened? You know, you weren't paying attention now. It's that simple. How long have I been streaming for? I normally do an hour. Yeah, an hour. That's an hour. That's perfect. Sorry about the slow start. It's always a slow start with me. It's never like, yeah, it always takes me a minute to get going. I mean, maybe what I should do, right, is I should do like a pre-warm-up I guess like, you know, I'm learning that too. Pre-warm up before I start like rambling on at the beginning, trying to get like my momentum going. Yeah, stay away from stuff like Punk Peg. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think anyone cares enough. You can see like the liquidity on it. I'm not gonna lie, like I bought it because I wanted to see what it was all about, but I sold it immediately because I saw like, you know, the volume was just starting to decrease every. When you buy a token, right? When you buy a token, and everyone's talking about it's going to $1 billion. If you start to see the volume decrease, that's when you sell. I don't care if you're in profit or not. Just get out, because like it's basically the liquidity or the volume is people rushing to the door. And if the liquidity starts to reduce, it's going to be harder for you to get out. Slippage will cost you money. I'm not talking to people on crypto Twitter or X. I'm talking to people on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. Yeah, if anyone's watching, I doubt you are. So I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope that you're up to date and up to speed now. If there's any more news, like I'm not going to do this like on a daily thing. Like it's just going to be like if I've got like mind dumps, if I want to just mind dump on people or on myself, because I like to listen back to what I'm saying to see if I'm just talking shit or anything like that. Don't tell people virtuals. This came over. She's like, "Hey Pedro, can we please increase virtuals cash price from 1k to 2k?" It's just not saying you should stake your mega on Mega E Flux, but there are 30 million away from unlocking conditions. Reward 50 million. Oh, okay. There you go. Oh, I might have to do that. Unless you don't want the rewards. Okay. Looks like I've got a move to make. Alright guys, that's interesting. 50 million mega for committers. So like that means that each individual project on Mega ETH has an allocation of mega that they can issue out to people, but 50 million mega is like a lot of mega. You know, even if you were to get 10,000 of that, that's like what? That's a couple of grand. And they're close as well. Let me see that. Excluding treasury and escrow. Was it Flux? Have I still got it up or did I close it down? Excuse my language, guys. It's a grown up show, whatever. Flux. It's annoying. Why don't you add it, you know? Why don't you add what's Flux? Flux is excuse me. I'm gonna have to find it. Alright. I guess that's my next job. Flux. Here we go. Clicks random link and expects not to get hacked. So what do you do? Here we go. Oh, so you actually need to commit your mega. So you need mega and then commit it to this thing. Okay. All right. I guess everyone's going to do that now. And I guess I'll speak to you guys soon. I'm going to play you out with the same intro as the outro because I like it. Helps me sleep. I don't know. Well, I just like the vibes. But I hope everyone's doing well. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, check out Unipeg. The more the merrier, you know. Get some dust, bros. Get some unicorn dust. All right. Take it easy. Let's see. Camera off. Mic off. Mic
If you want me,